I swear the cool shit always happens when I'm fucking asleep. Of course, that's the dangers of being a day sleeper, I guess. But, new developer update. Did I not just set this fucking thing to... Sorry about the fucking rave going on in the background, apparently. Anyway, new developer update has dropped. The update about the PTB, and this is the October developer update. So let's take a peek and see what they did. I did not mean to fucking quote this. You know what? Fuck it. All right, let's go. So if you guys don't know about the problems within the PTB, then I have two separate videos going over both the patch notes, and I have one where I like actively review the PTB. So you could check those out. Most likely it's going to be in the same playlist that this video is going to be in. So that'll be like linked at the end of the video. Greetings, ghosts and ghouls. I consider myself to be more of a... Yeah, sure, we'll go with it. We're back with another developer update, this time covering all the adjustments on the way following our last PTB. We unveiled some major changes during this PTB, including a new anti-face camping mechanic, and an overhaul with the Skull Merchant's power. You've left us with plenty of feedback to go through, and we'd like to share a few tweaks we'll be making when the update goes live. One of the things I really enjoy about behavior, and this is why I think every single game should get a PTB, is that when the PTBs come out and we give feedback, they generally listen to us. I have heard like a shitload of people saying that they don't ever listen to PTB feedback. The past 3 PTBs I've been a part of, no, I've been part of more than that. I've been playing since October of last year. Like October 30th this year will be a full year that I've been playing Dead by Daylight. They've listened to pretty much all the feedback. Sometimes they don't make any changes, but they've listened to pretty much all the feedback from PTBs. Anyway, let's take a look. With the overhaul on the PTB, we set our sights on the frustrating strategies that emerged due to how the Skull Merchant's power worked. While we're pleased to see that she was no longer a gen defending powerhouse, we noticed many felt that she was left in a weaker state. I did not. I think she was left in the same strength. She was not weaker, not stronger. She just kind of moved to the side with a different play style. But apparently behavior is taking into account how much weaker people think she is. The intent of this update is not to weaken the killer overall, so we'll be making a series of adjustments to address some of the feedback we've received. Scanning. During the PTB, many killers reported having difficulties scanning survivors with their drones. I never had that problem, but okay. Making the frequency of a lock-on lower than we would like. To ensure that her eyes in the sky truly are tools of torment. Oh, it's the chapter. They're going, haha, sorry, we made a punny. Okay, whatever. We have a series of changes in store. First, we noticed that because drones always rotated clockwise, it was far less likely that survivors would be scanned if they were also running a loop clockwise, since the beams would cross their path less often. This is most noticeable on tiles which survivors really want to run in a clockwise direction anyway to line themselves up for a fast bolt. To remedy this, the Skull Merchant can now toggle the direction of her drones while using her radar. Huh. Okay. This adds a lot more depth to the character. Like this may not seem like much like on the surface, but this adds a lot more like strategy and depth to the character that like really generates like a big fucking strategy. I said strategy twice, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like the thing about this is that this seems like one little like, oh, she could toggle the direction of her drones, but there's so much mind game potential with this that it makes drones like an active area to avoid a lot of times. You know what I mean? This way you can swap directions to force the beam to cross the survivor's path more often. Experienced killers who know the best way to run certain tiles will also be able to preemptively choose the yep. Second, some found the drone management to be a little stressful, largely since recalling a drone would put your power on cooldown. This was actually a problem I didn't really address in my PTB review, because it was already getting long, so I was trying to speed it along. But yeah, it was very, very clunky recalling a drone and then having a cooldown to put that drone in a different place. I think that was really, really bad. So they said this forced a killer to rush recall that are no longer needed whenever they had a moment of downtime, so their power was ready. To address this, the drones can now be recalled at any time, and recalling a drone no longer in no cooldown at all. Oh shit! I was expecting him to pull a classic. Oh well, we've reduced the cooldown to a more manageable state. No, they removed it. Dude, that's so fucking good. Actually, holy shit. Okay, yo, we're getting somewhere. Eyes in the sky. Third, we've made smaller adjustments to make it harder for survivors to cross through a drone's effective area without being scanned. Increase the drone's radius to 10 meters was 8. Oh, that's really good. Increase the drone's rotation speed in stealth mode to 60 degrees per second was 50. So this is actually interesting because one of her add-ons, the purple spinning blade add-on, made the rotation faster, and I didn't notice a fucking difference when I used it. Like, legitimately, I could not figure out what the difference was when I had the add-on equipped and when I didn't. So I'm wondering if this is even going to make a difference. We'll see. Increase the drone's rotation speed in scouting mode to 85. Oh, see, this is really good. This is really good. Okay. So this is interesting. This is really interesting. We'll watch and see how this plays out. Give the Skull Merchant more control when deploying a drone. The drone's beams now face directly in front and behind her by default, allowing skilled killers to scan survivors as soon as they're deployed. Ooh. Ooh. And they activate more quickly. They activate stupid fast. Hold up. 0.3 seconds is basically nothing. I mean, I'm not going to say for sure until I actually like play her, but she might have moved up a couple spots in the tier list. I'm not going to say she moved up a couple tiers, but she might have moved up like a few spots, you know, like above some other killers in C tier. Because I had her in C tier. I think I had her like relatively close to the bottom in C tier. So I think she might have moved up a couple spots in C tier. That's not bad. She might not be that bad. We will when it releases, I will make a video letting you guys know. Like, hey, new Skull Merchant, let's take her out for a spin. Yeah, cool. All right, anti-face camming. Some of the problems people pointed out to me that I didn't notice because I wasn't able to test it for myself was that, hold on. Well, I thought I was going to fucking sneeze, but I guess the fuck not. Okay. So some of the problems people pointed out to me during the, in the comment section, because I wasn't able to properly test the anti-face camping mechanic, was there was a problem with it happening on multi-floors. So like if you're on Midwich, you got somebody hooked below and you're chasing someone up top, then it would cause the meter to fill up. The reason that it's there, the reason it's a cylinder as opposed to a flat circle around the hook is because it is meant to stop basement camping. So like you're not supposed to be able to hook somebody in the basement and then walk up the stairs and stand up top. So that was one complaint people had. Another complaint people had that I saw was very common and not unreasonable at all was that it would start the second you hooked. So if you hook someone and then you turned around to like kick a generator and then break a pallet or something like that, then it would be a big problem. So let's see if they address these two problems that the community had. Grace period. One of the most common critiques of this mechanic comes from the way the meter immediately starts to fill before the killer could possibly walk away. Although this alone wouldn't cause survivors to free themselves, and understandably feels as if the game is wrongly treating you as if you were camping. There will now be a 7 seconds. That's okay. 7 seconds is pretty good. That's a good amount of time. Okay. Dying and carried survivors. During the PTB, dying and carried survivors did not influence the fill rate of the meter. I wouldn't expect them to. The former led to some awkward scenarios where a dying survivor with a perk that allowed them to pick themselves up could force the killer to stay nearby. With the latter, both exacerbated that strategy, as well as punishing the killer for hooking multiple survivors in the basement. Okay. I understand now. My brain was like, what the fuck are you talking about? So now, dying survivors will slow the meter as if they were standing. So like whenever there are other survivors around the hook, the meter slows down and can actually come to a complete stop if all three survivors are surround. So now if everybody wants to play protect the president and you end up fucking knocking everyone to the ground, then it's not going to affect the anti-camping mechanic. Or it's not going to allow the person on hook to unhook themselves while you're picking up everybody else. And carried survivors now pause the progress bar completely. Okay. I get it. So altruism is still the best killer perk, by the way. Verticality. When this feature was tested on the PTB, it treated both horizontal and vertical distances equally. However, this has a side effect of detecting killers on different floors as camping, even if the shortest path to the survivor was rather long. This was especially noticeable on indoor maps such as Gideon's. In a later update, the meter will be weighted more heavily toward horizontal than vertical. This will make the meter a little more forgiving if the killer passes by on another floor. Okay. And they say in a later update, which kind of annoys me, but I'm glad that they're addressing the problem that people had. So far, pretty much every complaint people had has been listened to. Furtive chase. Oh boy, here we go, chat. Every token now reduces furtive chase by 27 meters. Hopefully this will be while you were in chase. All right. We initially increased the terror radius reduction for each token, though many still did not find this a very appealing choice. Yeah, because having your terror radius reduced during chase is not a good thing. It's never going to be a useful mechanic. When hooking the obsession, gain undetectable and 5% stat haste for 14, 16. Yo! Wait a fucking minute. When the obsession is rescued from the hook, the rescue becomes a... Holy shit. So they kept the interesting part of the perk, but gave it a fucking effect that's amazing. Dude, this is so good. Okay, all right, listen to me, dude. Picture this. Scourge Hook Pain Res with like something like barbecue on Blight. You knock the obsession down. You pain res them onto the hook. You see the other person and you go running that direction while undetectable. You're undetectable for 18 seconds, dude. Do you understand how long that is? That's fucking insane. Dude, Furtive Chases, oh my God, that's such a good fucking change. That's such a good change. And the good thing about this, the great thing about this is that I'm not going to have to fucking hear people go, this is going to encourage tunneling and camping, because it literally rewards you for getting hooks on different survivors. Let's fucking go. Holy shit. Ah! I see the trapper up here. Please, dude, please tell me you guys are letting him spawn with all his traps. Okay, background player. I don't really care about this one that much. Most often used for saving teammates, allowing you to get into a position quickly in key moments. However, since the killer pickup animation is shorter than the perk's duration. I never noticed that before. It would usually be too late to save your teammate by the time the speed boost ended. Therefore, background player now causes you to sprint at 200%. And for 5 seconds, God, Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. That's insane. That's actually insane. Yeah, no, that's fucking, that's a big ass speed boost. Okay, yeah, sure. The Trapper. We were delighted to see such a positive reactions to the adjustments we made to the Trapper. Was there? I know some people were happy. I mean, I didn't dislike the changes. I thought they were cool. I just thought they were meaningless because they don't address the core problem of the Trapper. As we dug through the PTB feedback, we noticed many of you found it impractical to wander so far to gather your traps at the start of the match. Yes, yes. While the Trapper is still in the spotlight, we've decided to make one more change. Yes, yes. The Trapper's bear traps will spawn closer to the generators. You know what? I'll fucking take it. I will fucking take it. If we are not going to allow Trapper to spawn with all his traps, then you know what? I will take this fucking compromise. But one thing, behavior, one thing. Get rid of the carry limit. If you want to make me start with 2 or make me start with 3 with green bag, that's fine. But get rid of the carry limit. Stop making me put my traps down in order to pick up new traps. Get rid of the carry limit, and I will stop talking about Trapper being weak forever. With this change and getting rid of the carry limit, I will fucking accept that. You'll never hear me bitch about Trapper again. That's not true. You'll hear me bitch about Trapper, but I will never fucking constantly bring up that he should start with all his traps. You can hear my family in the background, I'm sure. I'm very sorry about that, but we're almost done. Whoa, what's this? Unfortunately, we weren't able to squeeze this change into the initial release, but this will be part of one of the smaller patches in the coming weeks. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. When it comes out, I'll test it. And I will test it rigorously. Okay. Shattered Square. Last but certainly not least, we have a few more adjustments on the way for the Shattered Shit. We received some feedback regarding the strength of certain pallet loops. Yeah, I saw Hins pointed out this one pallet loop on Twitter that was fucking ridiculous. It was literally a god pallet. It was a second god pallet. If you don't know, the only god pallet on every map should be Shack. That's why Shack pallet is so useful, because it's considered a god pallet. So there shouldn't be 2, and they did end up making a second one on Shattered Shit. So we have reviewed the loops in question and slightly reduced the number of pallets which spawn. So that's really interesting. Okay. So overall looks like they're doing a pretty good job. Somebody's gonna fucking quote that. Pretty good job so far. Seriously, they've done a great job. They've listened to feedback. It looks like I'm still going to be fucking general of the let Trapper start with all his traps war. But I mean, overall, they've just, I can't figure out where people get this behavior never listens to us bullshit, because they genuinely took feedback from the PTB and they fucking listened. And it's great. It's awesome. I like the changes. Everything seems good. Furtive Chase might honestly become one of my new favorite perks in my Obsession builds. Like, I used to run it just because basically, but like now it's going to be like, dude, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see what kind of weird shit we could come up with Furtive Chase, for sure. But, yeah. But that's all I have for today, guys. A special thank you to my channel members, Nuclear Bomb and Spirit Upgrades. And also, don't forget, we have the Halloween sale going on right now. The 3 different hoodies and the 13% off when you use code Best Holiday. All of that stuff. I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk about it. But other than that, guys, I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow.